anger with aggression, distortion, energy, rawness. We found each other.
Kirk Hammett is Metallica's legendary lead guitarist. He's the guy who created some of the most iconic metal solos in history. Fans around the world see him as humble, talented, and easygoing. He collects horror memorabilia, loves his guitars, and rarely causes trouble. Or so everyone thinks. What if we told you Kirk has been involved in some of the nastiest conflicts in rock history?
The way I found that out was I remember going into a comic book store.
We're not talking about minor creative disagreements here. Sources suggest Kirk has been part of brutal fallouts, public humiliations, and vendettas that lasted decades. Some of these battles destroyed friendships forever. Others nearly tore Metallica apart from the inside. Today we're exposing the 7 musicians who reportedly hated Kirk Hammett with absolute fury. These stories involve backstage confrontations, stolen opportunities, political warfare, and betrayals so deep they left permanent scars. Industry insiders have kept these secrets quiet for years, but now the truth is finally coming out. The #1 entry is going to absolutely stun you. It involves someone Kirk performs with constantly, and the power dynamics are more disturbing than you can imagine. We've gathered testimony from former bandmates, tour managers, and people who witnessed these feuds firsthand. Buckle up, because Kirk Hammett's dark side is about to be fully revealed. Let's dive in. 7. Dave Mustaine. At number 7 is Dave Mustaine, the founder of Megadeth. This feud is legendary in the metal world.
The lyrics and the vocals definitely are some of the last things that come in.
Yeah.
And James wants the song completely written.
Dave was actually Metallica's original lead guitarist before Kirk ever joined. But in 1983, the band kicked Dave out because of his drinking and aggressive behavior. Then Kirk stepped in and took his place. Dave never got over this rejection. For over 40 years, he's talked about it constantly. Sources claim Dave sees Kirk as the person who stole his dream and his legacy. Every time Kirk plays a Metallica solo, Dave allegedly feels robbed. The attacks got really personal over the years. Dave reportedly said Kirk wasn't as talented and only got lucky. He's made comments suggesting Kirk's solos were simpler than what he would have done. These insults appeared in major metal magazines. Kirk allegedly grew tired of being Dave's punching bag. Friends say the constant attacks wore him down. At award shows, witnesses claim the two men avoid each other completely. Security reportedly keeps them separated. The bitterness runs incredibly deep. Sources say it's genuine hatred that will probably never heal. Dave built an entire career partly fueled by anger at Kirk. This isn't just rivalry, it's a wound that never stopped bleeding for either of them. 6. Yngwie Malmsteen. At number 6 is Yngwie Malmsteen. The Swedish guitar virtuoso. Yngwie is famous for his incredibly fast playing and classical technique. He's a legend in the shred guitar community, but sources say he looked down on Kirk Hammett and publicly disrespected his abilities for years.
Adam Boy and Debbie Dooman and Captain Horlock are probably my favorite when it comes to Japanese cartoons.
The problems allegedly started in guitar magazines during the 1980s. Yngwie reportedly called Kirk's solos too simple and lacking real technique. He said any decent guitarist could play Metallica's parts. These comments spread throughout the guitar world and embarrassed Kirk publicly. Guitar fans began comparing the two constantly. Yngwie represented technical perfection and speed. Kirk represented emotion and songwriting. But Yngwie allegedly believed technical ability was all that mattered. He reportedly told interviewers that Kirk didn't deserve his reputation. Things got worse at guitar clinics and music trade shows. Witnesses claim Yngwie would mock Kirk's playing style in front of audiences. He allegedly demonstrated Kirk's solos and then added, "Now let me show you how it should really be played." The disrespect was obvious and intentional. Kirk was reportedly deeply hurt by these attacks. Friends say he became insecure about his technical skills. He allegedly started practicing more complex techniques just to prove Yngwie wrong. The rivalry created lasting tension between technical players and field-based guitarists in the metal community. 5. Jason Newsted. At number 5 is Jason Newsted, Metallica's former bass player. Jason joined the band in 1986 after Cliff Burton tragically died. But sources claim his years in Metallica were miserable.
I remember seeing him for the first time on film and just getting blown away by what he was doing.
And Kirk was allegedly part of the problem. According to insiders, the band hazed Jason constantly. They made him feel like an outsider who could never replace Cliff. Kirk reportedly participated in pranks and jokes that crossed the line from funny to cruel. Jason's bass was turned down in the mix, and his ideas were ignored in the studio. The worst part was Kirk's alleged silence during these incidents. Sources say Kirk watched James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich mistreat Jason but never defended him. Friends claim Jason felt betrayed because Kirk seemed nice but never stood up for what was right. Jason eventually quit Metallica in 2001. In later interviews, he talked about feeling abused and undervalued. While he didn't name Kirk specifically, industry insiders say Kirk's complicity hurt Jason deeply. Being ignored is sometimes worse than being attacked directly. Kirk allegedly feels guilty about this now. People close to him say he regrets not being braver during those years. But the damage was done. Jason reportedly holds resentment toward everyone in Metallica, including Kirk, for making his time there painful and demeaning. 4. Slash. At number 4 is Slash from Guns N' Roses. Both Slash and Kirk are legendary rock guitarists who emerged in the 1980s. But sources claim Kirk was jealous of Slash's fame and the recognition he received from fans and media worldwide.
I started to pursue that a little bit more, and I can remember after having a pretty good record collection of...
The rivalry allegedly started when Guns N' Roses exploded onto the scene. Slash became an instant icon with his top hat, cigarette, and bluesy solos. Magazine covers featured him constantly. Meanwhile, Kirk was in Metallica's shadow, always seen as part of the band rather than a solo star. What really hurt Kirk, according to insiders, was how Slash got credit for being cooler and more iconic. Guitar players worshipped Slash's image and style. Kirk reportedly felt overlooked and underappreciated despite Metallica selling more albums than Guns N' Roses. Sources claim Kirk made subtle negative comments about Slash in interviews. He allegedly questioned Slash's reliability and work ethic, referencing his substance abuse problems. These digs were never direct but clear enough for industry people to notice the tension. At award ceremonies and rock events, witnesses say the two guitarists kept their distance. There was no friendship or mutual respect. Kirk allegedly saw Slash as someone who got famous for image rather than pure talent. The competition became personal, and neither man wanted to acknowledge the other's achievements. 3. Ted Nugent.
That's right, baby! Now I've been driving your mom's radio that long, it's kind of getting overheated.
At number 3 is Ted Nugent, the outspoken conservative rock guitarist. Ted is known for his extreme political views and love of guns and hunting. Kirk Hammett represents the complete opposite with his liberal beliefs.
What good does that do? For me, one of the most important things in politics is honesty and integrity.
Sources claim this political divide created genuine hatred between them. The feud allegedly became public when Ted started attacking liberal musicians in interviews. He made comments about rockers being weak and unpatriotic. While he didn't always name Kirk directly, everyone knew who he meant. Kirk was vocal about environmental issues and gun control, which Ted despised. Things escalated when Ted allegedly called Kirk and other liberal musicians traitors to America. He said real rockers should support conservative values and the Second Amendment. Kirk reportedly fired back, saying Ted was an embarrassment to music. The insults flew back and forth through social media and interviews. Sources claim there was a confrontation at a charity event where both men were present. Witnesses say Ted approached Kirk and made provocative comments about his political stance. Kirk allegedly told him to leave him alone. Security had to step in before things got physical. The hatred goes beyond politics now. Kirk reportedly sees Ted as everything wrong with rock music. Ted allegedly views Kirk as a sellout who betrayed American values for Hollywood approval. 2. Lou Reed.
The people like us, we gotta work. Oh, there's even some evil mothers.
At number 2 is Lou Reed, the legendary Velvet Underground founder. In 2011, Metallica collaborated with Lou on an album called Lulu. It should have been exciting for Kirk. Instead, sources say it became one of the most humiliating experiences of his career.
Do I have any songs going on, come up, riffs, melodies, progressions, not just...
The problems started immediately in the studio. Lou allegedly treated Metallica like his backing band rather than creative partners. He dismissed their ideas and controlled every decision. Kirk reportedly tried to contribute guitar suggestions but was shut down repeatedly in front of everyone. Witnesses claim Lou was particularly dismissive of Kirk's input. He allegedly said things like, "Just play what I tell you," and ignored Kirk's decades of experience. Studio engineers say Kirk looked embarrassed and frustrated during these sessions. His creative voice was completely silenced. The album was released and got destroyed by critics. It's considered one of the worst albums ever made. Kirk was associated with this failure, and his reputation suffered. Sources say he felt used and humiliated by the entire experience. What hurt most was Lou never apologized or acknowledged Kirk's contributions. He allegedly acted like Metallica should be grateful for the opportunity. Kirk reportedly walked away feeling disrespected by someone he once admired. The collaboration damaged his confidence and left lasting bitterness. 1. James Hetfield.
Every day for us something new.
At number 1 is James Hetfield, Metallica's frontman and Kirk's supposed best friend. This is the most shocking entry because they've played together for over 40 years. But sources claim their relationship is built on control, suppression, and deep resentment. The core issue is power. James allegedly dominates every aspect of Metallica's creative process. Kirk's guitar solos have been cut short or removed entirely from songs. Sources say James decides what stays and what goes, often overruling Kirk's artistic vision completely. Financial inequality is another major problem. Insiders claim James and Lars Ulrich make significantly more money than Kirk despite his contributions. Kirk allegedly discovered this years ago and felt betrayed. He helped build Metallica's success, but reportedly doesn't share equally in the profits. The worst period came during James's rehab years. Sources say Kirk had to deal with James's anger issues and controlling behavior for decades. Kirk allegedly suppressed his own needs and creativity to keep James happy. Friends claim Kirk lives in constant fear of upsetting James. Kirk has never spoken publicly about these issues, which insiders say proves how dominated he is. He can't speak his truth without risking everything. Sources claim Kirk feels trapped in a friendship where he has no real power or voice. The resentment runs incredibly deep. Unbelievable, right? James Hetfield at number 1? That's a bombshell. Which feud shocked you most? Did you know about the Lou Reed disaster or the tension with Jason? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe for more explosive rock secrets. See you next time.